James Plays Games.
That's me! Hey everybody, welcome back to James Gets His Spirit Crushed. Yeah. The end of the last video, well, you know. Or maybe you don't, because it wasn't exactly clear to me what happened there. We need to get these little firefly bastards from this age to another and use them to light up a path for us. But they ate everything, including us. So, we're gonna run into them, and hopefully we will get some of them to stick with us. No, they didn't. Okay. Let us try to walk into them, and now we got a glow. Okay. It wasn't clear to me what happened, but maybe it's clear to you already. But if it's not, if you're like me, you had no idea what the hell happened that I lost these guys. Did I touch the water? Or what? One jump. We still have a glow, even though... Okay, they did come back. Some of them, at least. But two jumps... Now we have nothing. So... Yeah. We can't run. We can't get them wet or get the steam. Can't feed them after midnight, can't look them directly in the eyes, can't breathe too loud, can't sneeze, can't have eaten too much garlic, can't taunt them, can't do a whole bunch of stuff. And that makes this very frustrating because we have to just do a little walk of shame down the way to get to the book and then make an attempt, and then when we inevitably mess up, we got to come back here and do this all again. It really drags out. Like, I think this would be a perfectly fine puzzle if it was easier to get those fireflies and get back to this point. Like, if they were, like, right here. Because there's no... Like, the element of having to get the fireflies to a destination with the obstacles in your way, that's not bad. I actually like that. But the trial and error that you absolutely are going to have to do means you're gonna have to do this thing over and over. And having to go back to the other age, get the fireflies again, walk to the end, use the book, get back to this point, and then you can once again start working this out. I think just that's annoying. It's dragged out more than necessary. But the actual process of, you know, doing this, I actually like. I just don't like how far back you are set when you inevitably mess up. So, we need to avoid this. And then we need to also avoid the water. And we can only jump once. So, you may have noticed what the issue is at this point. Especially if you watched the last episode, which, don't blame me if you didn't, it was very frustrating. One jump, and then two jumps. So we've got ourselves a little bit of a mystery to sort out here. I don't know how we do that. So we are just gonna think about this. And I will be back after just staring at this screen for a while. I gotta be able to do something to get across with one or fewer jumps. And we are starting here because hell no I'm not gonna take the fireflies here and then get messed up and have to get them again. But as you see, we came in here and these lights are still on in here. And the basket that I kicked, or whatever you want to call it, even stayed in place. Oh. Oh, a light bulb just turned on in my head. Okay, what I was going to say is things seem to stay how you left them here. So we need to set something up before we go get those fireflies again. Okay. This doesn't seem entirely wrong if I can just figure out what it wants from me. That could work. Will it work this way? It kind of does. If I try to stop on it, it's not cooperating, but I'm getting over the water with this. Oh, it's in a real bad way now. This might... I'm gonna see if I can get this in an ideal position. I think that's good. We're gonna try it. We're gonna go get the fireflies. We're gonna try walking across the water using this as a bridge. And then we jump in from the side to avoid the waterfall. That should, I really hope, be the solution. Because if it's not, I'm still gonna finish this game. But I'm not gonna be happy about it. I'm already not super thrilled with how things have been going here. I'm trying to be positive. I've definitely been letting my frustrations out. And I think at least some of those frustrations are valid. I've tried to say I don't hate this game. And then I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I think I might hate this game. And then all of the stuff with the fireflies here. The end of that episode, I just got up and I walked away from my computer for a good while there before coming back and turning everything off. Not a rage quit, just a sense of defeat. Like, the game has just really broken me down with some very weird design choices, in my opinion. And I just don't really like a lot of stuff here. But at the same time, there is stuff that I do like. It's just, there's a lot of back and forth with that. You know how you can be playing a game and you're like, well, I like a lot of this game, but there's this like one section that really sucks. A bad example would be a lot of people, they like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but the water temple sticks out to a lot of players as being a very frustrating moment in the game, to the point where people might dread replaying Ocarina of Time because they know that section is there. Now, that's what's going on here, except there's so many water temples. And then there's other parts that are really good and cool. And even fun. But I just keep going back and forth on these things. It's just like a whiplash, you know what I mean? Okay, we're gonna try it. Run, just run and go. Oh, no, stupid! Wait, oh, it's nice to me. Oh my god, okay. I started to run because I need that momentum for that thing so that I stay on dry land. And as soon as I started running, I remembered running is bad, but the game seems to have shown a kindness to me. A rare instance of it doing so. And we're still glowing. Oh my god. Please. Nothing else. Nothing else bad. Please. Please. And please. I'm just waiting, like somebody's gonna come out from around a corner and just blow on me. This is... Oh. No. This is... Okay, it got a little bit better. It got a little bit better. Oh, is this it? Is this it? Back away so I don't get... Okay. Some progress has been made. No, there was a period here where I'm in this area and the fireflies were doing nothing. Just like the goggles. And, oh my god, there's all kinds of stuff going on here. Okay, so we got that. But yeah, once I walked forward a little bit more, then it was shining the light that I needed it to shine. Okay. So it looks like we kind of do a double back. And is there anything else? Another light would be kind of neat, but looks like we're not going to get that. Alright. Now we're just going to see how long we can keep these guys on us, I guess. Oh. Never mind. I forgot we got to jump. And we overjumped. Okay. So, now we are without fireflies. But we did make the progress we needed to make with them. Let's see how this goes without the fireflies. Okay. So, still a very, very dark tunnel. But at least with this light, we're able to point ourselves in a direction. So let's see what this do. Oh, okay. Every time I see like the little bit of darkness, and I'm just like, crap. If we needed them again, that would have sucked a lot. Okay. So we've got this area here that we now have access to, and then we're up here. And I'm hoping that each of these directions brings us to Journey Claw. This is not a light. Okay, can't get it back around here. These are just stacked. I have a feeling I can move these, yeah. But not this. So I have two of those. And why? Why are we coming up here to get two of those for? And where would we be taking them to? Trying to see if I can get up on that rock. All this doesn't move, but these two do. Let's just push them outside for now. Make sure they weren't covering anything up. Just around. I'm trying to... We got 2 journey claws left to find. I'm thinking they both have to be in this part of the age. I thought maybe one would be up here and one would be across the other way. I don't want to push these off here or anything. But I want to see if I can get on. No, they're not really that cooperative for jumping on. So I don't think I can use them to... I was just trying to see if I could get on one of them and then jump from that to here. It would not necessarily be helpful, because getting here is nothing to my knowledge, but I just wanted to see if they could be used in such a way. And it seems like if that is a possibility, not an easy thing to do. Oh, okay. No, don't do that. I'm leaving them up here because if I need them for, you know, like this section or whatever, for the upper section, I do not want to have to go and retrieve them. Okay, you can kind of feel your way through that. There's nothing in where that waterfall is. I don't like what I'm seeing here. Looks like there might be something here. You can see the silhouette for a moment. You are definitely going to be able to see better than I can. I was hoping that I would just be able to find, you know, the cursor would change. Alright. Okay. So, I'm being filled with some dread. Okay, we can see that a little bit better. Oh, this is... very annoying, because I know exactly what it is they want me to do. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to face the truth. Okay, so I'm going to see... Can I walk? No, I fall in. And I wedge this a little bit more in here so it doesn't have place to like really roll. That works. Okay. So we can walk over that. Then we'll have to figure something out for this. And then finally, the waterfall at the top. Let me push one of those down. Then try to take this one with us this way. Really a shame that our character was born without hands. You know, don't have any hands at all. 'Cause that would, you know, if we had hands, we could just grab this and hold it and bring it with us in a much easier way. But we don't have hands. It's a travesty, you know. But I think it's nice to see that kind of representation in games, you know. There's not a lot of disabled characters or differently abled characters that you see, especially at this time, this point in time in video games. So, yeah. No, but actually this is a way better method for transporting stuff around, actually. It's really fun to do this. Really fun. It's really good of you to do like this. I'm seething right now. I actually don't think this would have worked up here anyway. So we will still have to... Yeah, alright. I was trying to eliminate all potential jumps up to that point. Let us see if this will cooperate. And that's good. Okay. So we will just try to get this incredibly cooperative. Excuse me. Okay. You should be alright here. I'm gonna nudge you a little bit. That. And then we're gonna go get ourselves a couple fireflies. I came into this recording thinking I had it all figured out. Well, not all figured out, but I had the notion that that was going to be the last hurdle. Getting through that cave, and then I would find the last two journey claws in short succession, and we would be done with the objectives for the base game. That's what I thought. I thought there wouldn't be too much here. So little, in fact, I was worried that this wouldn't be a whole episode and we would just kind of jump right on into the expansion stuff without really having a proper break and reflection on this base game adventure. But we're already coming up on a half hour of me playing with these fireflies. So I really should have known better. Everything in this game takes way longer than one might assume. Especially if things don't cooperate. And I have to go back and get the fireflies again. Cross your fingers, cross your legs, cross everything. Okay. And go. Okay, good. So we still have a jump in us. That is good. Okay. All right. I just need to make sure not to... Oh, I accidentally... We're okay. It was just a light tap of the right mouse button. Okay, we got one jump in, and the glow is still on us. Alright. We in there. Okay, so that's just crap. That's just garbage. That is not anything I can do anything with. I'm trying to be extremely careful not to... There's a journey cloth. Okay. Now, can we find a light anywhere? I feel like I'm defusing a bomb. I'm trying to be so careful with what I touch. Now this... It looks like it would be... Oh, it is. Okay. Yes, trying to navigate that in the dark was not happening. We have a slight problem. Ooh, problem solved. We got a new hat. Okay, everything's fine now. Where's the last journey cloth? Where would it be? I'm just gonna have to wander around a little bit and see what I can find. Ah, there's a little sneaky treat. There we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad at all. That's fine with me. Was just a little bit off the path here. I just, at a glance, you don't quite notice that you got a little sneaky section there. Okay, so we got all the journey cloths finally, and we're right by the journey door, so that's perfect. Okay, yay. And then we just walk backwards. Hear animal noises. Okay, let's get away from the animal noises for a second. We're going to be going back to that cavern where Yisha talks to us and there's the flashing lights. But this is the last one of these that we need to get. So I don't know if anything's going to change in that cavern. And if there's something that I need to show you guys, well, just be aware that there may be some flickering lights. And if there are, I will try to speak about that. Otherwise, just a still image will be coming up now.
Many stories were there for the Denis to learn from, but they didn't hear them. The ancient tales of Tuat's Ocean, or of course the story of King Shomat and his brothers, which even speaks of gardens and death. But no one truly listened. The garden ages of the proud are beautiful, but they are built on the backs of the least. The ages like Chemo and Gira are a sampling of the playthings of Denis. With disregard, the least were stripped from their homes. The lives in those ages were consumed, and the Denis gave nothing back. And whatever is not given back will be taken. The journeys are complete. Now take the final pillar. Take it, but hear all I've said. It's the whispers and murmurs that reveal the simple truths. You hold the precious soul of a Barrow in your age, in your hand. Such things are not meant to be held. Do what I do. I have learned things, seen things, written things they never thought possible. I have seen the real treasures that are protected by the petty fences of their rules. I have found the precious gold buried deep beneath the weighty mountains of their laws. This is my journey too. I am returning what has been given. These years I've spent, this path I've traveled, this gift I've been given, this purpose weighs on me. My burden, the legacy of my father, Atris. For we are shaping Denis. We will mold what comes after. We cannot keep the power and the pride from ruining this new Denis, but we can prepare those who will read between the lines. The least are returning. The stream in the cleft is returning. Life is returning. The fissure is returning. The circle will be completed when you give back what you have taken. You must return.
Okay, time to touch the hand symbol. Here goes our last pillar. And nothing has changed in this cavern. We are going into the fissure and back home. And this has something to do with the Barrow, which is a race of people or creatures or something. We're like reawakening them. Oh. Oh. Okay. Hold on. Now I'm just being haunted by fireflies at this point. I don't know if this is supposed to be doing something or not. Gonna turn into something. Trees. Okay. Look, I know that the original Mist didn't have an ending, so to speak, but, you know. Aren't we a little bit past that point now? Okay, anyway. We've been listening to Yisha, and she talks mainly about the mistakes of the Dunny in the past. to do anything. And, okay, trying not to replicate the same mistakes to rebuild the Dunny with kind of the knowledge of things that have happened in the past so that they don't repeat them, at least not right away. And I guess you could say that ties into all those history books. But I mean, I'm trying to find some kind of justification for those books. All the books. And what kind of relevance they have to the game experience. Trying to be fair while also being unfair at the same time. Because I still don't want to read them. I'm not sure if we've finished or not here, game. She said, like, we have the soul of the barrow in our age. I mean, this is not really doing anything for us. They all raised up. And we've got fireflies going around. That's our victory here, or what? I'm trying to see if there's anything. And I'm coming up real empty here. Okay, maybe my comprehension is not the best or something. I did not register what she said when it came to returning the power or whatever. So means we get to do this again. I hope you're as thrilled about that as I am, especially with something being weird there. Okay, we're all right now. We get to do this fun jump again, everybody. Hope you're excited about that. Wonder if I can just send it. Can I do like a super jump and get there? Oh, just barely. Okay, so that makes that easier. Hey, why did we go through all that trouble to get to the cavern and get those posts if we're just gonna put them back? What are we doing here, game? Maybe I just have not been paying enough attention. I don't know. Okay, everything is flickering red now. I'm clicking the hand, and it brought up the post again. Oh, that was an interesting fall there. Okay. Oh. Okay. So we took the post, now we're putting them back, and we are bringing in maybe the fissure? That could be what we're getting at here. I mean, I will fully admit that I didn't fully grasp what she was saying. And I might not really understand what's going on here. I will admit, maybe that's my fault. Probably my fault, I should say. I don't really know how I can blame it on the game that my attention was not completely there. I tried to listen to what she was saying. It just... I don't know. It just didn't come together in my mind. I also just had a thought. Let's go to our pictures. Take a new one, I guess. Plenty of stuff that I took pictures of that I apparently didn't need to. But let's go back to... I'm assuming certain things like this. This is the fissure. This is the same shape as what we're regrowing in our Relto. But this and some other things, I think that's related to the expansions. But this is like the room of hints and solutions for puzzles for the base game, right? So what is this? I never used this for anything. Does anybody know? Is this even a thing, or is it just like, oh, that's to throw you off, make you think that every single thing in there is a hint, but not everything is? I don't know. I have no idea what this would correspond to now. So, yeah, if anybody knows, go ahead and now's the time to just say. If we're finishing this base game, anything that I didn't put together for it, go ahead and tell me. Very clearly stuff that I missed in this game. I'm going to take a couple of screen grabs to put up for you guys, so that you don't have to deal with the flickering red lights. But as we are putting these posts back, we are kind of bringing the cave, like we're closing up those gaps so that everything is connected. There's also these symbols on the ground. Each one has a different symbol. And I know that my memory isn't super great about these things, especially with how long this game's been going for me. I want to say that those symbols correspond to ones that we used at the beginning of the game. Could be wrong. Or I could be right. A final journey door and final putting back of the post. Okay, so all the posts are now back. And the room is now complete. Everything's lit with reddish orange And if we look down here, we are not seeing that fissure at all. Which explains why we're falling so weirdly into I don't know what each time. I thought it was a clipping issue where it was showing another part that like we weren't supposed to be seeing. Here's the fissure. But why did we do this? What is any of this? I've been frustrated with this game more often than I would have hoped. And with all of the reading and this and that, I might have checked out too much when it came to the actual lore of this game, the whole point of this game. Especially for certain things, they were actually hard for me to hear. I keep the volume low in my headset when recording so that it doesn't bleed into the recording and have a weird echo. So some stuff I just don't hear in the first place. Some stuff, it's in one ear, out the other, because for whatever reason, I like to think I understood what was going on in the first 3 games. At least eventually. But here, I feel very lost. And I would like to know if I'm the only one. You watching this, did you understand everything that's been happening here? Or are you like me and you're like, you just didn't understand anything? Because I'm sorry. But I'm just not sure how much of it is my fault and how much of it is the way the game presented its story to me. And if it's the things like the frustration that really made me less able to really like retain information because I'm just so frustrated by this and that by the time I actually get somewhere, I'm kind of like shut down. But like I said, I'm willing to accept the blame that it's my fault that I'm not totally grasping what the story is here. Refusing to read the books, not really listening to what's being said, for whatever reason. But I am curious how you feel from your experience of watching me play this. Did you grasp what's going on with the story here? Let's go into the fissure. And we're back in New Mexico. Jerry Grabowski survived falling out of the sky without a single scrape or bruise. Though I'm pretty sure that should have killed him. We go back to... what's his face? I think, maybe? Because what else am I supposed to be doing here? I've gone on my journey. I've learned things, maybe. I don't know what's happening anymore. I guess here's the question. I pretty much understood, like I said, Mist 1, Riven, and Mist 3. Pretty much understood what was going on with all that business. Not like it was overly complicated or anything, but I grasped it, I think. Oh, you're gone. You're not here. Alright. Knock on the door? No. Okay. So what is it about this game, this experience, where I feel so clueless about what has been presented to me? Where I'm just not totally getting what it was telling me. Just didn't register with me. Also, I do note that this chasm is kind of in the same fissure shape. Okay. Yeah, it was this. These symbols. Actually, it might not have been all of the same symbols. Oh, no. Let me just check. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, how am I supposed to understand that? Something is... I'm doing something right, though. I just need to remember... Oh, I should have used the damn camera. I'm just going through the symbols. These should be the correct symbols. If my memory is correct on that, which I think it is, I just don't think they're in the right positions. Because that's just broken. So, speaking of broken, this is still, yeah, I don't know if that's ever supposed to do something or not. I don't know where that dude went. I thought maybe he'd be somewhere in here, but... Okay, we're gonna... go through this... and this should take me to a cave. And the cave... I'm screwed. I guess. Alright, I'm gonna go back and look at those symbols and take pictures and get that all sorted. Okay, we're back with pictures, everybody. Hooray! Take a picture by accident because I couldn't remember how to actually just where to click to get to the pictures. So we've got this, and that's next to this. So you can see I only took a couple of pictures here to really figure out where everything would be. So we've got that, that, and that, and that. So I think I see. I square thing. I square thing. So it would be this. Okay, it's working now.
An ending has been written. You've done all that has been asked. You've traveled the full circle. You have returned to the cleft through the fissure. You swam among the stars and saw the remnants of previous journeys. You have returned, and the pillars were returned. And now one more of the Barrow, the least, has been returned to Denis. You don't need to understand what that means. Only that the hand of the Maker has set it in motion. Now the circle is complete and the tree has begun to grow again. The path is now open, and so the symbol of the journey must change. Now the beginning is tied to the end.
That's the path of the
Now
shell.
you can go where you wish. The restoration of Denis awaits. The deep city breathes. Uru again. And I will be concerned with other things. The least are becoming greater. They will now also affect the restoration. Perhaps not the way others had planned. You've learned about the pride of Denis. The great writers of worlds were infected with pride that became a cancer. It grew quietly beneath the surface, but it grew until Denis could live no more. But those things have been told. You understand it well, I think. Let us end this cycle with rewards before we start the next cycle. Relto, the High Place. Your age now. It was the first age I wrote, a gift from my parents, and now much more. It reminds me of another home, another place. I even placed the library in the place it belongs. But Relto will change. It will be your soul, showing what you are. Only I could write Relto. It's beyond what the Denis could accomplish. Keep it. And I've given you clothing that represents your journey. Wear this to show others what side you've taken, when sides are taken. When you wear it, you will tell all that you side with us. With Yisha, with the Barrow. It will not always be easy. And another gift is here, a link to the cleft here in Tomana. You haven't been able to return here, but now you can. This book will take a special place on your shelf. This place is not meant to be shared. Return here alone when you wish to remember the cycle of things.
Okay. I mean, the overall of what we've done, what we were doing, makes sense to me, but
Returning. One final gift. Something that no Denis writer has been able to do for more than 10,000 years. I alone can write this gift. I alone am chosen to do this and more.
So I just used a holographic linking book.
This gift is what my father Atris would have longed to give his grandmother Tiana. What Tiana longed for and danced for.
Ooh, dance. Oh, it's
The
a
gift of
cutscene.
life in the desert.
Can't do a dance. So Yisha's actually
Perhaps
still
the
alive.
ending has not yet been written.
And now you're gone. And now I'm in here. Alright. Does it work here? Does. So I got a page, which is for my Relto. And let's go ahead and turn that flickering shit back off. So, Yisha saw the pride of the Dunny that caused the fall of Dunny. And she kind of became, you know, like a leader of trying to rebuild Dunny in a way that would not be quick to repeat the mistakes of the past. We were put on this path to learn about these things and see what hell they kind of brought upon themselves going through those ages. And she tells us as much. And we're getting these posts, bringing them to our Relto, then returning them to where we found them to kind of rejoin that area and in turn create a fissure for ourselves to return back home to here, New Mexico. And in doing so, I guess we were drawing the power of the Barrow out of somewhere and back into the Dunny worlds. And they're referred to as the Least. They're kind of like a culture, subculture, or something. The Dunny mistreated them. So by bringing back their influence and increasing their numbers, then you're able to help shape the future of the Dunny in a way that would be hopefully better. That's my takeaway of the story here. Am I right or wrong? I don't know. I like to think I'm right, but now my question is, what the hell do I do with this? What? I can still play around with this. I wonder. Okay, so that still counts as everything. Are we done, or is there more to do? I still feel kind of confused about that. Let's look around a little bit in the rain here. She closed that door on us. Still has the journey cloth on the outside. This is still the same. What I found must be returned. Now his garden is mine. I will use them to bring me the least. Now we know what that means. Possible. I'm going to go back in here and see if there's the book there now. Nope, everything is still the same. So we'll go up and just see if anything's different up here. Oh, yeah, it is. Those are the Barrow. Okay. There we go. There's an end. Perhaps the ending has not yet been written. No, it definitely has. This is the end. Until we get to the expansions. I don't know if this has multiple endings. Like the previous games. But that's something I will have to look up. I didn't feel like there was ever a point for me to make a choice here on like what I would be doing. I mean, the only thing I could see is climbing back up and seeing that versus just going back to my Relto. Don't know if you'd really even call that an ending. Or a difference in endings. This is all closed up now. Get a... I want to say Zandy. Am I remembering that correctly? Zandy. I got one of their shirts. Hopefully it smells like them and I can curl up in bed with it. Okay, back to the Relto. She said that she added stuff. Some new clothes. And another book, maybe? Yeah. Oh. Game is doing a thing. Okay, I'm going to have to reload the game for that. Let me just see anything outside, because we did... Well, I guess it's raining now, because we got that thing. That's the difference. Okay, and can I go to my clothes? And will there be something new in our wardrobe? It's... Aren't we supposed to be able to see ourselves? That could be the new thing. I think that's it. Oh. Oh boy. Okay, there we are. Game is having a hard time at the moment. Let's see if I can kind of come out and see. Well, from the back it looks drab. From the front, you know there's a handprint on it. Just trust me, bro. Will this work now? No, it won't. Okay. I'm gonna quit and reload and get this sorted so we can check out that book. Okay, now it's working. And... okay, so this is what this looks like. The two different versions of New Mexico. Which I guess is a fictional land created by the Dunny. Okay. Let's go back to the sunny one and see if... I'm just going to say Zandy. It sounds right. See if Zandy's here anywhere. And I think this is the end of the base game. So, some final thoughts? Blech. The game is, out of the 4 games, this one's at the bottom for me. And I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna say it's not... it's got its faults, but it's not awful. There's some parts of the game that worked really well for me, but for every one of those, there's a part of the game that did not. And it was very annoying, frustrating, and upsetting, even, for it to be going back and forth like that. The story did not come together for me in a way that I really felt any impact from it. Maybe that's because I was so checked out and didn't really understand in detail what everything was, what was really going on here. I got the gist of it, and I feel like I didn't need to read 20 books about the history of kings to understand that people kind of sucked. So, I don't know. If I were to read that now, would I feel like it provides more depth to the game experience the way that the books did in the previous games? I don't know. I just felt like it was abundant. The fact that you can find a room, or like an area, an age, whatever you want to call it, that's loaded with notebooks. I think that's just a huge red flag for the game's design, where they didn't know how to put this into the game meaningfully, so let's just dump them all in this spot. And you could say, well, in Myst there was the library that had all that stuff for you to read. It was like 4 or 5 books in there, and each one of them was, like, I already talked about that, the purpose that they served of really fleshing out the world and understanding what you found yourself in the middle of and who these characters are and things like that, I didn't really feel that here. Learning about King Shomat and his brothers did not... I didn't go anywhere that I really felt like that had any impact. I'm in the Garden Ages, which I'm pretty sure are the gardens that were talked about in, the story of Shomat. I didn't get anything from that at all. And the puzzles, some of them were good. Some of them I enjoyed. And other ones were not as great. And then there were some that were really annoyingly frustrating. Fireflies. The one age we went to with the forest age, that was a little weird. It started off where you had to align those 3 different things to open up the door. But I could forgive that. The section where you have to create the pattern out of the lights and then walk in the shadow, again, a little weird, but I could forgive that. The thing with the hexagon tiles, where you have to walk on the correct ones without really having any proper guidance that I could see, or knowing what to do there, that was kind of bad, in my opinion. And then after that, we had the vault, and having to open that up. That ultimately does make sense, and I'm willing to take the blame for not putting that together. The other age with the fortress, that was not too bad. I did get stuck here and there, confused, which is fine. That doesn't mean that it's bad. I didn't necessarily have a problem with the puzzle design for it, except I felt like there was some misdirection with those doors that I couldn't open, and reading the book that talked about security clearances for the key and things like that. That threw me off. The glitch and the platforming was horrendous. And I remember that more than anything else about that age. This area, Teledon, again, for the most part, I don't think it was bad. I actually liked a lot of how it was set up, and I felt good about my exploration and putting things together. There was the one puzzle with the pressure plates, and I just did not grasp the last piece of the puzzle needed to solve that one. That's fine. I don't know if I would, if I had looked through the bars and saw that stuff there, I'm not positive that I would have been able to connect the dots myself on that, but it still doesn't mean it was bad. Again, some misdirection, I think, with the talk of the Shroomy and getting them more inland and closing the gate and stuff, and how they destroyed part of the walkway. I thought maybe there was something I needed to do catching a Shroomy, and they would break something and get me access to something. That's, I don't know, maybe my own fault or something. Again, with the whole idea of the misdirection there. But not terrible overall. And yeah, we talked about the forest age. And then this. I liked the figuring out the stuff with the vents and getting over to the other side. But that's it, I think. That it was just horrible. I'm sorry, it was. The fact that everything was so dark, I could not see. I don't know what I did that made it a little bit lighter so that I could see and find those light switches. The whole thing with the fireflies was, like I talked about at the beginning of this video, the concept of having to navigate these obstacles to get the fireflies to the area to light it up. I like that. I just didn't like the trial and error because of how far back you were set to do it again. And that ended up being a huge part of this age. And so that sucked a lot. So yeah, it's just like every time something was good, there was something else that was bad. And just kind of going back and forth meant that the whole experience was muddied with these bad moments. And all in all, just didn't work for me as much as I wish it had. With the whole experience here going so different compared to the previous Myst games, I mean, they want you to be in third person. You start out in New Mexico, and you meet this guy who talks to you, and then you meet the hologram of Yisha, things like that. I was expecting it to really go in a different direction and have more people to meet and talk to. Like, oh, we're actually gonna, this was originally supposed to be a multiplayer game. And I just, the whole idea was, oh, you're going to be playing and there's going to be other people. So I thought, okay, there's also going to be more characters. And so I was interested in that idea of going through ages that were actually inhabited, that actually had people that could talk to you about things, as opposed to reading books all the time. Maybe it was just decided that would be too much of a shift in style. But I did find that to be a little bit disappointing, especially because of how hard they went on the books. So, yeah, this felt like this was going to be a different direction for the Myst games, and it is. It's not the right direction. And things that I kind of would have expected as part of this experience, they weren't there. I wonder how much of this is the result of the game originally planned for multiplayer and then converted into a single-player experience. Some of the puzzles being more obtuse or even frustrating might have been alleviated by the fact that you would be a part of this community where people could have their own experiences and share those insights, maybe even help you solve the puzzles so that it was less work or less of a burden on you. I don't know. But we do end up having these sections here. I think the 2 Dunny expansion, is still repurposed from the original multiplayer design. But I think all this is original to the idea that, yeah, this is a single-player game. What else? We have another thing I'm curious about. Like, we found a book. It was in this age, right? That brought us to another Relto that had everything all filled out. We've had connections to, like, Bevan and other places. And I guess, like, the Bevan stuff is part of the expansion, but it's embedded in this. Was that always there? Was that added with the expansion stuff, that you would find it once you had the expansions? I have questions about that. I don't know if there's a proper way to start the expansions, or if I just go into a book and there we go, you know? Yeah, this is the gallery, or whatever it's called, that has the hints that we use in the main game. All the balconies, all the dead ends, I do not understand. And this is what we had found from Teledon that brought us to the other Relto that I'm talking about, I think. I don't know how it all fits together. Like, what was there originally and what's there now? I'm very confused about what the intended experience is supposed to be for doing these expansions. So I may need to look up how, like how you're properly supposed to start them. And I don't think I have any more thoughts at the moment. I'm just looking at what books we've got here and what's in them. And yeah, so tell me what your thoughts were about the base game here, about finishing this part of the game. And next time we're gonna try to figure out what I'm supposed to do next with the expansions, okay? Hopefully it won't be as frustrating or broken or whatever for that once we jump into those proper. And maybe my opinion of this whole game will be improved by what's to come. I'm hopeful. I'm going to be positive. I don't want this to be a Let's Play where you watch me descend into madness. It's kind of gone that way, but I'm hoping, really hoping that things pick back up. I'm not dedicated to being a grumpy Gus here. So we'll see what happens. I love ya. Bye-bye.